My name's Daniel Reaves. I'm 38, a home renovation contractor, born and raised in a quiet suburb just outside of Austin, Texas. I'd always considered myself a man of principles, hardworking, loyal, and fiercely protective of my family. For over a decade, I dedicated every ounce of sweat and time to building a life for me and my wife, Natalie. We had the perfect couple image. 2 kids, a golden retriever, and a house with a white picket fence. But all that turned into ash the day I discovered her betrayal, and how close to home it really was. Chapter 1. Cracks in the picture-perfect frame. Natalie and I had been together since our mid-20s. She worked from home as a freelance interior designer, and while I was out running job sites all day, she managed the house and the kids. At least, that's what I believed. Things started to feel off around our 11th anniversary. Natalie had grown distant. Her phone never left her hand. She kept it face down at dinner, and she suddenly had a new interest in jogging. Except she'd come back from her runs smelling like cologne and without breaking a sweat. At first, I tried to convince myself it was nothing. Maybe stress. Maybe a midlife crisis. But the gut feeling wouldn't leave me alone. We lived next to Martin's, Jake and his wife, Elise. Jake was a classic good old boy. Tall, charming. The type who could make friends with fence posts. He worked in tech, mostly from home. Elise, ironically, traveled a lot for her consulting job. I never suspected him at first. Why would I? We barbecued together, went on double dates, even shared beers in the garage while our kids played Fortnite upstairs. One day, I came home early from a job site after my crew hit a gas line and had to shut down work. Natalie wasn't expecting me. I pulled into the driveway and noticed Jake's Tesla parked oddly across the street, half hidden behind a neighbor's SUV. My stomach twisted. I entered the house quietly. No music. No kids. They were at school. I walked up the stairs, every step slower than the last, and that's when I heard it. Soft giggles, muffled moans. I opened the door to our bedroom. There they were. Natalie, Jake, tangled in our sheets. On our bed, beneath the framed family photo, I had hung myself. They scrambled like cockroaches. Natalie screamed. Jake tried to stammer some excuse about not meaning for this to happen. I didn't yell. I didn't throw a punch. I stood there, calm and cold. "You've got 5 minutes to get out," I said to Jake. He grabbed his pants and bolted. Natalie started crying, begging me to let her explain. But I wasn't ready to listen. Not yet. I left the house, heart pounding, betrayal burning in my chest. But my mind was crystal clear. And I knew one thing for certain. They weren't going to get away with this quietly. Over the next few days, while Natalie begged for forgiveness, I acted like a man processing heartbreak. But really I was planning my move. I installed hidden cameras in the house and checked the backup footage from our security system. Sure enough, Jake had been coming over during the day for weeks. Sometimes, even while I was home and asleep in the basement after long shifts. The files I gathered, photos, video clips, even messages from Natalie's sync tablet, became my arsenal. And I wasn't just going to confront them. I was going to expose them. Jake and Elise were hosting a 4th of July block party. It was a big event. Dozens of neighbors, friends, co-workers, even some extended family. Natalie, of course, was helping decorate and organize, acting like she hadn't torched her marriage. I offered to help set up the slideshow, a photo montage Jake was going to run in the backyard for guests. Family memories, neighborhood highlights, etc. I offered to bring my laptop and plug it into projector. What I actually brought was a special edit titled, "Behind Closed Doors, a Neighborhood Affair." As dusk settled and drinks flowed, the music lowered, and everyone gathered on lawn chairs to watch the slideshow. I clicked play. It started innocently. Photos of kids playing, barbecue memories, Christmas decorations. Then the screen went black for a moment. The next image? Natalie in a bathrobe, opening the door for Jake. Then them kissing, her pushing him onto our bed. Screenshots of their texts. "I wish you were mine." He has no idea. Poor guy's always working. Gasps filled the air. Elise stood up, mouth agape. Jake went white. Natalie screamed my name from across the lawn. I looked right at her. You made our marriage public when you brought it into his bed. Now I just returned the favor. Elise dumped her wine on Jake's head and stormed out. Jake lost half his clients and moved out within a week. His wife filed for divorce. Natalie tried to spin the narrative that I was cruel, vindictive, but people had seen the truth with their own eyes. Her parents, my family, even our friends sided with me. I filed for divorce immediately, got full custody of the kids. Natalie could only see them under supervision. The judge had no sympathy after seeing the emotional damage she caused and the recordings I presented. I even got to keep the house. Jake's former bedroom view now overlooked a womanless horizon. Chapter 8, Rebuilding from the Ashes. It took time to heal. Therapy, long talks with my boys, nights where the silence in the house cut deeper than the betrayal ever did. But eventually, I began to breathe again. I started dating again a year later. Slowly, carefully, found peace in small things. Fixing up the garage, camping trips with my sons, and the way the neighborhood still invited me to every cookout. My favorite part? Every 4th of July, the neighbors still laugh about the great backyard scandal. And me, I smile, because they all remember the day my cheating wife and her lover were exposed not just as liars, but as fools on the biggest screen in the block. Months passed, and the dust finally settled. Natalie moved in with her sister across town. Jake disappeared from the neighborhood completely. No forwarding address, no goodbyes, just a faint memory of his disgrace lingering like the smell of burnt meat on a grill long gone cold. I never looked back. The court granted me full custody of our boys. Natalie's infidelity, caught on camera and on record, made her pleas for joint custody fall flat. She got every other weekend, supervised at a neutral center. I renovated the house, not just to erase the memory of what happened, but to give myself and my kids a fresh start. I replaced a master bed, repainted every room, even tore out the old carpet where their affair began. Piece by piece, I reclaimed what was mine. As for the neighbors, they never stopped supporting me. In fact, some of them even told me the public reveal had been a wake-up call for their own relationships. I didn't set out to teach anyone a lesson. I just wanted the truth out there. But if a few people realize how devastating betrayal could be, good. The truth is, I never wanted revenge. I wanted justice. And what I got was better. Now, every 4th of July, I host a block party. The same backyard. The same projector. But now, it's filled with real memories. Me and my boys grilling burgers, kids laugh in the pool, and smiles that don't hide secrets. And each year, someone inevitably asks, jokingly, "Hey, Dan, you gonna show another slideshow?" I laugh and say, "Not unless someone else wants to be famous." They laugh, I laugh. But deep down, we all remember, not out of malice, but as a reminder, if you play with fire in someone else's home, don't be surprised when you get burned in front of the whole neighborhood. And as for me, I moved on with clarity, dignity, and something they'll never have again, self-respect.